Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. So, it's a double upload day. There are going to be double uploads, I think, coming up, especially during the international break. I've got to try and give what I can, and we've got time to spare, so we might as well use it. We're going to start off with today, because yesterday I gave you the update and my thoughts on the possibility that United could be looking at Thomas Tuchel. And then there were subsequent events about Sir Jim Ratcliffe having a meeting with Joel Glazer and all of that. Well, we've got things happening this morning, and it's looking like today is actually D-Day for Erik ten Hag. Will he stay or will he go? We're going to find out, I think, by the end of today. So, strap in. But, talking about Thomas Tuchel, check this out. Sky Sports have said Manchester United have not made an approach to Thomas Tuchel, with Erik ten Hag on a brief holiday while the club's executive committee meet in London to discuss the next steps. So there we are. United have not made an approach to Thomas Tuchel. Ten Hag is under the impression that he retains the backing of the club's hierarchy ahead of their summit. That summit taking place today. And that's been pretty well documented as of today. And here is Jamie Jackson with the latest this morning. So the decisive meeting on the future of Erik ten Hag is set to start early this morning. So I'm guessing at the start of this video, or the time of this video, I'm guessing it's already kicked off, surely. Now, Jamie Jackson is a very well-connected Manchester United Guardian journalist, and yeah, same goes for some of the other United pages that are all saying, yeah, it's this morning. Basically, Ten Hag's fate is looking like it's going to be decided. And like I said yesterday, look, if Thomas Tuchel were to show up at United, I'd be concerned, right? And I know some people are saying, no, he's just a cup manager. He's just a cup manager. And when it comes to the league, nothing will happen. I have to be honest. When has Thomas Tuchel finished disastrously in a league position? At least recently, it hasn't happened. People are going to talk about when Tuchel was at Chelsea and how the league form wasn't so good. We were always top four. We weren't sinking to 12th. We weren't sinking to 8th. We finished third under him. I honestly think that had Roman not left, had the club not been disrupted in that manner, Thomas Tuchel would probably still be here today, and we would just be looking to try and elevate even more and end up in that title race and hopefully try and win the Premier League. I honestly think that's where it would have gone. He's brilliant in cup competitions, yes. That's definitely the icing on the cake that he has. But it's like I've said, you give him the tools that he needs to create the team that he needs, and I think he does well in the league as well. I think he does. Now, I'm not saying he will win the title, but he'll be in that conversation, 100%. So I don't want Man United in that conversation. That's my whole point. I don't want them near that conversation. That's what I'm looking at Chelsea for right now. And so far this season, so good. As long as we keep this one up, we might end up in the conversation next season. United, though, calamity. And I would like to think that if Thomas Tuchel were to show up there, their chances of remaining rubbish diminishes, and they do eventually elevate. Whereas right now, if they were to go for, I don't know, let's say, well, I had Southgate, but Southgate's not happening. We figured that out yesterday. Graham Potter, let's see what happens there. That would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? As long as it's not Tuchel or Nagelsmann or a top-end manager, right, I'm happy. But is Ten Hag going to get the chop? That's the decision to make. And I got to be honest, it's like I mentioned this yesterday. And on the back of hearing this morning that the decisive meeting is taking place this morning, I'd like to say that from a neutral perspective, right, that's a correct decision from Manchester United. It's an international break. It's just started. You have time, basically, in order to get things on track for when the Premier League season resumes and everyone's back from international duty, maybe under a new manager, maybe he's had a few days to really settle in. It is the time. The international break right now, and at this early in the season, it can change the entire tone of the season. So, personally, I'm looking at this new Man United ownership, new football ownership, because the Glazers are still there. Let's not kid ourselves here. But the 25% that is in charge by Jim Ratcliffe, that is operating the football side of things, they've not made any decisions yet. This is going to be their first major decision, whether to stay with Ten Hag or whether to get rid of Ten Hag. And I'm inclined to think that they can only start really functioning things in their way, under their blueprint, if they were to get rid of Erik Ten Hag and get their own man in. That's what I think needs to happen. I'm talking from a neutral perspective now, from a non-biased football perspective. Is that going to happen? And who's going to make that call? I said this yesterday. We saw Jim Ratcliffe not long ago, a few days ago, before the Aston Villa game at Villa Park. I don't know where he was. Like I said, he was on some marina or something. And he mentioned that it's not him that's going to be making the decision. It's going to be the football people that he has appointed in charge. Omar Barada, Ashworth, those guys that are there. And he's going to take everything on board and allow them to make the call, basically. However, The Athletic have come out this morning and said this instead. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is believed to have the decisive say on Ten Hag's position, with Barada and Ashworth making recommendations. That's from The Athletic. There's a big contradiction here then. Who are we believing? Are we believing Jim Ratcliffe from his own mouth, or are we believing The Athletic? Now, I don't know. Personally, because let's be honest, maybe Jim Ratcliffe is saying things just to appease the fans. Maybe he just wants to say the right thing so the fans stay on board. Or maybe he is actually being completely genuine, 100% truthful, and he is not going to make the final say, and he's leaving that decision up to the football people that he has appointed. Which, in my eyes, would be the correct thing to do. It shouldn't be the non-football owner that makes the football decision when you've got the football people in charge that you've appointed to make those sort of decisions. So that's something that I think surely Jim Ratcliffe... I'd like to think that he's being truthful. And it is going to be the decision by Omar Barada and Ashworth to be able to make that decision. The Athletic are saying otherwise. No. It's their recommendation, but it is Jim Ratcliffe's decision and his final say. Now, on a hierarchies level, of course, he can have the final say. Maybe that's what they're trying to allude to, and a convenient time to say it just after Ratcliffe has said those words. Maybe it's a journalistic sort of approach. Maybe it's just to try and create some buzz. I don't know. There doesn't need to be any more buzz created from this, I'll be honest. There's enough buzz going on. We're talking about it. Genuinely massive question marks. What's going to happen? Now, we could have a big decision by the end of today. We could. So, make sure you're here for it. And if we do get a decision and we do find out, then I'll give you my thoughts and you'll hear what I have to say right here on Younes Talks Football. So make sure you're subbed. Now, let me know what you think. I want to ask genuinely, Man United fans, let me know in the comments. Non-Man United fans, let me know honestly from a non-biased perspective, because I know if I asked a biased perspective, you'd all agree with me and say Ten Hag in. Of course, don't. Yeah, I understand. We're all in that boat already. We know the tone of that already, right? Let me know genuinely. Like if you had to take a non-biased perspective, you take the glasses off, you put them on the table, right? And you have to be real for 5 minutes. Tell me, do you think Ten Hag should realistically stay or realistically go? I want to know. Let me know down below. Now, to end, Manchester City. By the way, they've got their own battles. By the way, another word on the street, Pep Guardiola, 2-year contract. Now, these are Man City guys saying it. Now, you know when you see like fans of other clubs that have sources... And then you get some ITKs and all. Well, funnily enough, there were a volume of City people all at the same time saying, Pep, 2-year deal. Is that true? Is it not? I'd like to think it probably is. I think Pep isn't just going to give up so easy. But then again, it depends on this whole 115 trial business. Like, if there's an inkling that City could be in trouble, I think Pep Guardiola is going to be like, guys, see you later, I'm out, and he's gone. If not, I think he'll stay. He's got no reason to leave. So, let's get into the latest, because Man City scored a massive legal win over the Premier League yesterday, and we got more clarity, and here's what City decided to do. Man City have accused the Premier League of misleading clubs with inaccuracies in their verdict on the legal dispute over the associated party transaction rules. They have written to the other 19 clubs outlining their case and dismantling the Premier League statement. On top of this, Manchester City, like I said, had the support of Chelsea and also Everton, right? As well as Newcastle, we know that, in that trial yesterday, and evidence was provided in their favour. Now, we're talking about Chelsea real quick. You guys remember the sponsorship story that Paramount were meant to come in as the shirt sponsor, and then that never happened because of a clash of interests, basically. There's the official broadcast of the Premier League, and how Paramount are that in North America, and they can't sponsor a football club because then it would be biased. Well, this is where this sort of thing, right? Man City have basically squashed the Premier League and gone, listen, shut up. Your so-called rules are not rules, and they're ineffective, and you have breached your own rules by trying to implement this on us and everybody else. So they have won that legal battle, and there's more to come, it seems. But the other Premier League clubs, the ones that have provided evidence against Manchester City, have got problems here. From a reputational perspective, Arsenal, Liverpool, United, they all tried to dunk on City and lost. Not great, because now Man City have the upper hand, and let's see what they're going to do, because we've got the whole 115 coming up. It's going to be one hell of a roller coaster. So let's see what happens. But Man City so far in the driving seat, and in the driving seat pretty convincingly. So we'll see where that all goes. Let me know your thoughts on that one too, and I'll see all of you later on tonight, this evening, with more of the latest. We'll see what goes on. We'll see if we get any news from Ten Hag, and I'll also see what's going on at Chelsea home, and I'll give you all my thoughts then. So make sure you guys are here for that. Much appreciated for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Notification bell on. Don't forget to check out the socials, as I'm very active on there. Make sure you're following Insta and Twitter, or X as it's called now. And I'll see all of you later on. Have a good one, people. See you later. Take care and peace.